ಲೇಖಕನ ಎರಡು ಸಾಲುಗಳು ಅನೇಕ ವಿಸ್ಮಯಗಳನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ತೆರೆದಿಡುತ್ತವೆ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡಿರುವುದನ್ನೇ ಈ ಲೇಖಕರು ನೋಡಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ, ಆದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣದ ಸಂಗತಿಗಳು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕಂಡಿರುತ್ತವೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಲೇಖಕರಿಗೆ, ಸಾಧಕರಿಗೆ, ಉದಯೋನ್ಮುಖ ಬರಹಗಾರರಿಗೆ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ ಅಲೋಸಿಯಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾಶನ. ಇದರ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಪ್ರೇಮಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಈ ಹೊತ್ತಿನ ಶುಭಕಾಮನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೋರುತ್ತೇವೆ. On this occasion, we are delighted to have with us the dignitaries for the inaugural ceremony who are already here. Reverend Father Melwin Joseph Pinto, Rector of St Aloysius Institution, who will be presiding over this ceremony. Dr. Udaya Kumar Iruvathur, HOD of Department of Commerce, University College, Hampankata, as the chief guest. Reverend Dr. Praveen Martis SJ, the Principal of St Aloysius Autonomous College. The 4 authors of the books which are going to be released today, Reverend Father Prashanth Madtha SJ, Reverend Dr. Rony Serrao, Dr. Norbert Lobo, Dr. Sylvia Rego, Dr. Alwyn D'Sa, the Registrar of a college. May I now request Dr. Vidya Vinutha DSouza, Director of St Aloysius Prakashana, to escort our dignitaries onto the stage.
Good evening to all of you, and a warm welcome to all of you to this inaugural of the book release and the postcast release at St Aloysius College. The St Aloysius Prakashana is a very historic moment that we are witnessing at this moment. Why? Because after 142 years, this is something very unique and special for us. Though St Aloysius College has come up with a lot of publications in terms of publishing research, journals, the books, and we have known in the city for our academic excellence. Today there is another such event that we are witnessing at this moment, that we are going into the formalizing or formally inaugurating this publication center at St Aloysius College. Some may ask this question. People like Father Prashanth Madtha were principal here, and he had written so many books. Why didn't he start such a wonderful publication center at St Aloysius College? There may have been need of it, but at this moment we feel there is a need or a special significance of starting a publication center. We had people like B.S. Raman, who had authored more than 50 books in the college, and very known and prominent professors. Even in the past, when the Jesuits came here and started this college, we had well-known writers and authors. And today we are inaugurating something very, very unique and a special event at St Aloysius College. And we have here the distinguished guests and the distinguished friends among us to witness such an event. I'm here to welcome all of you. I would like to specially welcome our chief guest, Dr. Udaya Kumar MA Iruvathur. He is the HOD of the Commerce Department of University College, Mangaluru. He was a former principal. He himself is a prolific writer and a progressive thinker. He is a democratic and constitution value-oriented man, and always propagated a different kind of a thinking. And we are extremely happy to have such a great personality here to inaugurate the wonderful event that we are celebrating today. A warm welcome to you, sir. We have with us our Rector of St Aloysius Institutions, who is also a visionary and a dynamic leader, who himself thought of it that we need to have something very different here at St Aloysius College. He is the one who is also chairing the governing body of the college. This particular issue had come in the governing body, and when people ask the question, why do you need such kind of a publication center, and he said we must need, and it is very important at this moment, and he supported this event very much and encouraged all of us to take it forward. So I am very happy to welcome you, Rector, who is the president of today's inaugural ceremony. A warm welcome to you, Father Melwin Pinto. Without the authors, we cannot take this publication center forward. We have here the great authors who already authored many books, and we are very happy to have them here on the stage. We have our own former principal, Reverend Father Prashanth Madtha. We have with us Reverend Dr. Rony Serrao, the Rector of Jaipur Seminary. We have with us Dr. Norbert Lobo, the Director of Maffei Block, and Dr. Sylvia Rego. She is also an author and the Associate Professor of Department of English. So we are extremely happy to have them, and their books are going to be released today. This is not the first time they have written books. They have written many books. I remember Reverend Father Prashanth Madtha, when he took over as principal, I was witnessing that moment. I still remember. He taught me also value education. That's why you can see what I am today is because of him. Don't say. When I was in the second year BSc, he was taking us those value education classes, and Father Nelapati was the principal. And when we completed our final year, I remember in the month of March, that near the Katte, at present we call it Mother Teresa Peace Park. So he was giving a talk on the day of his taking over. He was talking only about majestic. I don't know whether he remembers. He was talking only about majestic things about St Aloysius College, and finally he said there's a majestic man sitting. Now will take over of St Aloysius College, and definitely we have seen what he has done at St Aloysius College, starting with Alvana, Altorium, all sorts of things. Okay, and then he had given a new kind of a look to St Aloysius College along with his creative thinking. And he's the one, even when he was the principal of the college, he had written the book of this college, the history. And later on, when I was talking to him, I wanted him for the publication center to be part of that and also inaugurate, come up with his own book. And he said he's writing a book on himself, the Pranshipala. And I was very much excited that he has come up with the book of his own experiences here, 10 years as principal of St Aloysius College. A warm welcome to you, Father Prashanth Madtha. Reverend Dr. Rony Serrao is a rector of Jaipur Seminary. He is the one, when I met him some time ago, he said we have a lot of books written earlier, and there's a history of the Mangaluru diocese which was written. Can we have a reprint of it? And such kind of ideas that he gave me initially when we thought of starting a publication center, and that struck me a lot, and we said we will do something about it. And also along with that, his own publications. He himself is a writer, singer, musician, and a very creative personality. He is with us here. A warm welcome to you, Reverend Dr. Rony Serrao. Dr. Norbert Lobo is the director of Admin Block and also the Associate Professor of Economics Department. He has written many books in the past. He is also well known in the field of economics. There was a celebration here in this block many years ago, and he was the chief guest, and he was talking at that moment. I remember in the audience there was a student who said, I would like to speak on this occasion. She spontaneously came up and said, I'm so happy to see a person who has written books, and I was reading his books. I was able to see him in front of him. That was the expression. I still remember that was about 4 years ago. And such is the personality of Dr. Norbert Lobo, and he is publishing one more book in the field of economics, and we are extremely happy to have him here. A warm welcome to you, Dr. Norbert Lobo. We have a very quiet personality here from the Department of English, the Associate Professor, Dr. Sylvia Rego. She is very quiet and she moves around slowly, but at the same time she is also a thinker, always thinks differently and comes up with different research articles. And she is with us here and come up with a very important book today. We are happy to release a book too. A warm welcome to you, Dr. Sylvia Rego. We have with us our Registrar, Dr. Alwyn D'Sa. Himself is a writer. I think he'll come up with another book next time. but this time he is with us to encourage and also speak about the publication center. He is also one of the persons who mooted this idea in the beginning. A warm welcome to you, Dr. Alwyn D'Sa. We are with us Dr. Vidya Vinutha DSouza. She is the director of St Aloysius Prakashana. This is the first time we are coming up with this book, and we are looking for someone to lead this, and we found the apt person, the more significant person to lead this, and we know how she has taken it forward. Reverend Father Leo DeSouza here, Father Stephen, the print and media partner, and the Biblios media partners are with us here. A warm welcome to all of you. A warm welcome to all the fathers, Reverend Father Melwin Pinto, Father Marcel, and other fathers here. A warm welcome to you. Warm welcome to all the directors of different blocks and also the deans and the head of the departments. A warm welcome to each one of you. I'm also happy to welcome PRO and also the other guests who have come from different places, and especially the print and media. Today they are with us here. Warm welcome to each and every one of you, and special welcome to all our members of the faculty and the students who are witnessing this very special moment. A warm welcome to all of you. Thank you.
I would like to welcome our chief guest by presenting a sapling. May I request Father Rector to present a sapling to our chief guest. President of Karnataka Pari Sahitya Academy, Sri Rahim Uche. I think they're not here, so thank you for your cooperation as well. As our college has begun a new journey in the form of St Aloysius Prakashana, may I now request Dr. Alwyn D'Sa to give a glimpse of our new endeavour.
Esteemed dignitaries on the dais, my dear colleagues, alumni, well-wishers, invitees and guests. Every institution has a recorded history and significant milestones in its growth trajectory and evolution. At the entrance of the admin block, there is a spot that attracts all visitors and makes them silently glance the milestones that the great institute has traversed so far. Today, yet another milestone has been reached by this prestigious institution. The college has been making serious efforts at operating like a university for the last few years. And one of the credentials that we need to infuse into our curriculum and campus culture as an institution which is on the threshold of becoming deemed to be university is research, publications and innovation. Earlier, every year or regularly whenever the expert committees used to come to assess the institution on our credentials and accreditations and inspection committees, our research center used to produce a compendium of research articles published by our scholars and staff members. I remember it was almost to the tune of more than 500 pages, 2 books of the research publications that we had for the last 5 years when the inspection team came to visit our institution for the deemed to be university status. That wasn't sufficient. We felt that that wouldn't suffice. We need to have a center, a unit exclusively publishing our articles, books, creative endeavors, share our stories in the print media and also share it with the others and invite others to publish their works through our unit of publication. Today, we are very proud to announce that we have created a potent platform or a space to our research scholars for their new knowledges to be published, their research publications, creative narratives. We are going to have 2 books on this. They themselves are research-oriented works, and I am very sure in the future someone will do a PhD on their works. So this is just a beginning. So these are the works that are going to share lives as well as share experiences and share the new knowledges that we have been consistently creating in our institution. I would like to place on record the support and the vision that Father Rector, Father Melwin Pinto, as well as our beloved Principal, Praveen Martis, and all the others who have actually pushed us, supported us, and given us the confidence that we can do it and we need to have this as we go on to becoming a university. I would like to place on record the suggestions and proactive support that is given by the members of the governing council. Some of them are not here. We remember them fondly. Today is one event that each one of us will be very proud of, and that is the launching of St Aloysius Prakashana. These 4 books come from 4 different areas. So it is like a menu of different kinds of contents. One is textbook of economics by Dr. Norbert Lobo. The second one, Dr. Sylvia Rego is taking our Konkani indigenous folk tales by translating it to English, and she is making an effort to take it to the non-Konkani people and also overseas, so that I think the Konkani indigenous folk tales are going to become very popular. And we have spiritual insights by Reverend Dr. Rony Serrao, the Rector of St Joseph's Interdiocesan Seminary, who has compiled his thoughts and his spiritual journey, and also is going to be an inspiration for all of us to go through his insights, spiritual insights. And we have our own Reverend Father Prashanth Madtha, former principal. A lot is spoken about him. We have been collaborators along with him when he was a principal and the teacher here. And he has brought about a very interesting book once again, because anything that he does is interesting. It has to be interesting. And Pranshupala, I think we are eagerly waiting to browse those pages. Maybe they are going to be episodic, and he is good at that. So it is a kind of 4 different areas. So it is going to be a comprehensive. I think all of us are going to buy each one of the books, 4 of them, when we go out, and then give them the feedback later, possibly write a review, because all of us are here for that. So once again, thank you for this opportunity, and let us all celebrate this great event of St Aloysius Prakashana. Thank you.
Tree Spirit by Dr. Sylvia Rego, a work on Konkani folk tales, and Kurpechivita Chizar Devstutichi Lekana by Reverend Dr. Rony Serrao, which is a collection of inspiring set of articles related to Catholic liturgy and spirituality. Now it's time to unveil these books. May I request our chief guest to unveil these 4 books, and the dignitaries will be joining him.
today's function, Reverend Father Melwin Joseph Pinto, Rector of St Aloysius Institutions, Father Prashanth Madtha, Dr. Norbert Lobo, Dr. Sylvia Rego, Reverend Father Rony Serrao, Principal of this great institution, Reverend Father Dr. Praveen Martis, Director of St Aloysius Prakashana, Vidya Vinutha DSouza, Registrar of Aloysius Autonomous College, and my dear friend Dr. Alwyn D'Sa, dignitaries, my colleagues, and student friends. At the outset, I would like to congratulate St Aloysius College for this great venture of starting Aloysius Prakashana. An educational institution is engaged in a creative pursuit as well. It's a huge task of having a retrospection, getting engaged with the world, and also giving way for new ideas. At the same time, it is very important that we record and document it, which is not being done most of the education institutions in our country. If you look at the history of the great universities and academic institutions in the world, perhaps one good thing or one distinctive kind of identity that they do have is creating the footprints of their work, which is there for the next generation to know. If we look at great universities like Cambridge and Oxford, even now, if something is being accepted by Oxford for publication or Cambridge for publication, it means something different. And I think that 50 years or 25 years down the lane, we will be able to have this college as well, Aloysius Prakashana also on the same lines. It is my wish that it happens, because most of the universities over here have not paid enough attention except for Kannada University Hampi. I don't think that the other universities are pursuing it. Actually, Prasaranga of Mysore University did great work, and greatest poet Kuvempu named it as Prasaranga. But all the universities are busy in Pracharanga, not Prasarangas. So I think that it is very important. It is a great responsibility on the education institutions as well. So therefore, it is good that Aloysius College thought on those lines, and I trust and believe that in the near future it is going to be an university, and there is a need for a universal university in the days to come, because something very challenging is there in front of all of us, especially in the area of higher education. So I remember having read something during the Cold War period, when Russia or USSR was able to take on USA. Some discussions was going on at the level of the statesmen or politicians whatsoever, how to weaken USSR. Then somebody suggested, you please study their educational system, and if we can pollute the educational system, probably we will be able to make some headway. Because if we pollute the thought process of people or generation, it is very easy for us to have control over them. I think that it is quite right, and if you look around what is happening today, it is quite right. And at the same time, there is no need to get panic or to feel offended. Always we can fight out, because the thick darkness can be, right, overcome by lighting a simple lamp. So it is always the darkness which is afraid of light, and not darkness which is afraid of, or not the light which is afraid of darkness. I still remember, it's quite delighting for me to share the days with Dr. Prashanth Madtha. When I joined University College afresh, he assumed the position of principalship in the St Aloysius College, and he is also an alumni of former government college in the present University College. And I remember, and still it rings in my ears, the words, that is when he got the position of the principalship of St Aloysius College, and the first thing that he did was, as he said, right, coming back to the University College and walking on the corridors and trying to recollect what he learned during his student days. And many have said these words. So in the mighty buildings and the huge corridors, you always feel a sense of security, and that is what he was in need of. And I was reminded of it very much when I assumed the position of principal in the college there. And I think it is quite true. So the higher education institutions are not completing just syllabus or teaching something. It is also creating a kind of space outside and within oneself. My son was a alumni of this college, but he did his only PU and not the graduation. He always remembers the St Aloysius College and the campus, because it's a huge space, physical space outside, the mighty buildings, very unique, and that idea get reflected in a mind, and that will always influence your thought process. It's very important. But today, so in a small room of 30 by 20, you start a college, and the students never get to have the feeling of an education institutions, which is very important. So this architecture, this idea of space is very important. So therefore, education has a very broad meaning, and it is to be contextualized in the proper perspective, and that would help the students to do a self-reflection. I was talking to some of my friends. We are turning out products in the campus now, not the people, not the citizens, not the dreams for this country. And I think that something different needs to be done. So, in spite of all the challenges and limitations, I am quite happy always to come to this campus, because I am into 38th year of my service as a teacher, out of which 11 years I worked in a private college, Dawla College, Moodbidri, and I was very active in the Private College Teachers Association, AMUT. And Aloysius College used to be the center of all the activities. People like Dr. K.V. Rao, Narari, right, and many more used to be very active. Now, one great thing about this institution is it has always been able to, or it has always been trying to inculcate democratic values, disseminate the importance of creating small republics wherever the students go. The founding father of my institution, Mr. Govinda Krishna Chettur, who went on to become principal at the age of 22 and has been one of the longest served principal of my college for 16 years, and also died quite young. He was Oxford educated, and he was the one who started the extracurricular activities which are necessary and essential for students to make better use of what they study inside the classroom. In fact, he wanted to create a mini Oxford in the place where he started his service. And recently, one of the scholars mention about his name because he is also a thorough scholar. So somebody who heads the institution is not only an administrator, but he should be a person who is very good in research, very good in academics, and that is why the university college, the government college used to have Oxford educated or the Cambridge educated as the principal. No, this is very important, and I'm really thankful to the principal, the rector, and all my friends, Dr. Vidya, for having given me this opportunity to be a witness to this historic event. I think that it's a great job. I wish this Aloysius Prakashana all the best, and I think that getting published in Aloysius Prakashana is going to be the benchmark in the days to come. Thank you very much.
As I was going for a walk, I saw a large crowd. Naturally, I was curious to know what are they looking at. Everybody was looking, rushing, large crowd. But how to enter this crowd? Very difficult to enter the crowd. So I somehow pushed them, and as I was going to the center, I said, my uncle had an accident. He's on the road there, just returned from Gulf. My uncle. They gave me way. As I entered, they gave me way. As I was approaching, some started smiling at me when I said, my uncle just returned from Gulf and all that. Somehow I went, what do I see there? A donkey dead in the accident. There was a second embarrassing moment. Father Praveen told me to speak about all the 4 books, but I have not read the books. Still I can, as a Jesuit, I can speak on any. I can even speak about zoology, botany, anything I can speak. I think this is what education means today. We could be educators or educationists. We could be educators and lecturers, we are all educators. But educationist is different. His thinking is different as an educationist. Educationists won't say students have failed. Students don't fail. Teachers might fail because they don't have the skill of teaching. An institution, a system might fail, never student. Students don't fail. This is what an educationist will think about. What does an education institution produce? We know that senior person who produces, what is that? Samosa. He said samosa. He produces samosa. Then maybe some hotel produces a lot of food items, refreshments and all that. Commerce will produce snacks. What does an education institution produce? Education institution produces knowledge. In a college, a degree college, we teach knowledge. But when you come to postgraduate level, when it is an autonomous college, when it is a university, the main concern should be how to produce knowledge. And I'm sure today's day, significance of this day is, this is one part of this producing knowledge. A lot of research work is going on. For that, every institution, every department should have annual auditing. How much this department, how much this education institution has produced knowledge this year? What is the knowledge produced this year? This should be the auditing to be done in every college. Stanford University, today's chief guest spoke of Oxford University. Stanford University, recently I was reading their encyclopedia on knowledge. Buddhism says basically all of us are very good people. We are very generous people, very kind people. If somebody gives 5 rupees for a beggar in the bus, all the others start giving some money. because we are generous. That's what Zen says, Buddhism says. But Stanford University made a research on that. Is it true that our DNA is kind, generous? They proved otherwise. They conducted an experiment among the students, divided the class into two, and told one group of the students, go to that room, your friends are there, give them electric shocks. And they expected these students won't give electric shock to them and give pain to them, the other group. But believe it or not, the students went into the room, their friends, intimate friends, and started giving them electric shock. Little more, little more, little more, till they started breathing, and these fellows were enjoying. This is what Stanford University research proved it. Human being basically is not kind and generous. If there is an opportunity given to him, he'll become very sadistic. So much research we could do, produce knowledge in our colleges. Do you know, those who know history, do you know Netravati river was not flowing there where it is flowing now, Ullal. It was flowing through Valencia, retreat house, and going up Tower, then joining the sea. It was in 15th century. When I was in retreat house, something we were digging, and I found stones, rock pieces, shaped by the water, which you find in the river. I was asking somebody, why is this? How is that we find such rocks in retreat house? Later on I came to know Netravati river in 15th century was flowing there. Later on it moved towards Ulla. This is a kind of research. We could do a lot of research. How much difference it has made in 1905 when the Ullal bridge was built, railway bridge. It shaped St Aloysius College because students started coming from Kerala and Tamil Nadu because there was a railway bridge. It changed the history of this college. Small things make a difference. I used to observe girls here when the co-education started. I saw two groups. One is those who come from matriarchal society, girls from matriarchal society, and those who came from patriarchal society. If you give a cricket ball to a girl from patriarchal society, she will take the ball and throw it like this. Give to a matriarchal society girl, she will take the ball, will throw it. She is free. Her body is free in the space. Matriarchal society, they become very free in using the speech, not in patriarchal society. Shilpa Shetty, Aishwarya Rai, and who are the others? All this came from matriarchal society. And from that society, those who come from matriarchal society, good in sports, good in leadership, the way they control boys, as seen in this college, because they come from matriarchal. A lot of research has to be done in this matter, how these small things affect. I am a good observer. I knew when I teach in the class, I used to teach Kannada in the class. By the palm of the hands, I know whether I am teaching well or not. If the palm is student's palm, when they are listening to me, the palm is here, I am doing a good job. If I am boring, immediately palm will come to this level. Or body language. And we have here for 4 books. One is folklore. This is how nature, folklore means lore means wisdom. Wisdom of ordinary people. They are not ordinary people. So Sylvia has written about how nature becomes culture. How we are experts. Every moment we change the nature into culture. Flower is part of nature. We are not created flower. But when a girl goes to the garden, takes the rose, part of nature, she makes it a culture. nature making culture. I think ultimately folklore is that. And for the Dr. Norbert Lobo's money ultimately means exchange. How exchange happens? Formerly even not only coins were money, notes were money, even princesses, king's daughters were exchanged, money. If you want to negotiate with the other king, you give your daughter to that king, then he keeps quiet because daughter is there. Exchange value. Girls had exchange value even today. When you pay dowry, it means your daughter has exchange value. Money means ultimately that. It is Maya. Money means Maya. There's nothing. But all of us arbitrarily believe there is some value. What Dr. Norbert Lobo says for the Rony Serrao says the opposite. Money is not important at all. Money is not important at all. Interiority is important. Religion means interiority. What happens inside you? What position you are taking? So he speaks about interiority. And for Prashanth Madtha speaks about his own experiences. I had many experiences here. Did I tell you about Pasca? When I was the principal, there were 7 cows in this college. Brother Vincent may not remember that. And when Pascam was in charge to milk the cows and all that. One day I saw Pascam coming from the high school side after milking the cows. Oh, pain. He's saying pain. I said, what happened, Pascam? 7 cows I had to milk, I had pain. I had to sit like that and milk the cow. A lot of pain. I said, Pascam, why can't you just stool? Use a stool. He said, wonderful, father, wonderful. You just get such a good ideas. Okay, scoop. I'll use a scoop. What is that? A stool while milking. After 1 week, I meet him. He's still saying, Pascam didn't use stool. I used stool, father, but to carry that cow and make him to sit on the stool. It was very difficult. I won't speak much about these books. I think, but read a lot of researchers. We had a Jesuit in North India. I don't know whether you know him, Jesuit. He told the provincial, I am going to do research. I am zoological man. Please give me funds. What is the topic? Snakes in Rajasthan. Snakes in Rajasthan. So he started. Provincial was thinking he will finish within 1 or 2 years his research. Snakes in Rajasthan. Nothing. No thesis. He was watching TV at home, not going for field work. Then after 2 years, Provincial asked him, what happened to you? No, I am busy with that, but I need a camera. 40,000 rupees. With that, I can take photographs of snakes and all. Okay. Provincial gave him 40,000, bought a camera. 4 years, nothing. After 4 years, Provincial asked him, where's your research man? When is the doctorate? No, thesis is ready. I'll give you a copy. He gave a copy to the Provincial. Very thin. Provincial opened his thesis. First page itself, dedicated for the Provincial. Second page is fighting you. There are no snakes in That is his finding, research. So my book, my experience as principal. Have you seen that picture on the cover page? As if I have just come back from Afghanistan. All red. John Chandran must be a very nice. John Chandran? Nice, thank you very much. I really liked it. There's the only photo where I smiled. Why I wrote this is, this was during the pandemic, lockdown. All of us were condemning this pandemic, why this lockdown and all that. But this is the way history has happened. Civilization happened because there were disruptions. This pandemic was that kind of disruption, something new. will happen because of this disruptions. We have to welcome this disruptions, not desire for it. And during this lockdown, I sat and remembered all my experiences, especially because you know why I didn't tell this to anybody. I used to get regular dreams on St Aloysius College, walking on the corridor and principal shouting at me. Leo was my principal when I was teaching. Actually, he is the reason why I am here in St Aloysius College, because of his special consideration, St Aloysius. For the Leo shouting at me, you are not completed your portion, syllabus and all that. Again and again, St Aloysius dreams. And I think, why these dreams? I could dream so many other beautiful things. Why St Aloysius is coming here? Then I said, I have not finished St Aloysius College. It is an unfinished business. I have not said goodbye to St Aloysius College and all those experiences. I am still carrying an experience of St Aloysius College. So I took a therapeutic approach towards St Aloysius College, saying, I'll write it down and wrap it up, all my experiences, and started writing every day. I started writing. Now, finished that business. St Aloysius business is over. I need not dream about St Aloysius College anymore. This is a great blessing. And those Aloysius College days were happiest days. To be with the young people, especially adolescent teenagers, is a great blessing. You can see the transparency. They don't have guile at all, provided you respect them. Respect them. I never used the word Neevu for any of my students. I always said Neevu. Then shouted at them. But before that I said Neevu. After saying Neevu only, I shouted at them. But respected them. Did I tell you about that girl? Maybe I'm repeating many times, like I do in my homilies also. Did I say about that girl? No. Here there was a student girl, smart girl, maybe from matriarchal family, but always found with the boys. Basketball, boys are playing, she will go and she will also start playing. Everywhere she was, and never mixed with the other girls. I called her and said, please sometimes mix with the girls also. You are always fond with them. Yes, father, yes, father, yes, father. Again, she continued the same thing. I said, I want to go meet your dad. Yes, father, call your dad. No, he has gone to Singapore, she said. Singapore? Okay. Father said, no, I am not going in, I am here. I called the girl from the office. You told me just now, your dad has gone to Singapore. He is at home. Just come back. I thought of standing up and saluting her. Such a smart girl. At that moment, on the spot, to tell me that. The brain must be very sharp. Afterwards, I was in Commerce College, Mangaluru. I used to stand out on the portico and see students entering the gate, whether they wear the tag, identity tag. If they don't wear, they have to go back. I saw one girl without a tag. I called her, shouted at her, where's your identity? Shout. She came one step forward. Father, you look so sweet when you get angry. I ran to my room, looked at the mirror, acted getting angry. Who will tell me that you look so smart or handsome when you get angry? These adolescents, teenagers know, because they are accustomed with their parents. When mother gets angry, they go behind mother, put her hand, Mommy. All these experiences have put it there without hurting anybody. With this, I want to tell this St Aloysius Prakashana for principle. Publishing books is one part of it. There should be second part. Second part is giving publicity, marketing. Otherwise, what will happen is in our institutions we publish books and keep it there in the storeroom. for years it will be there. Publicity, marketing is important. This is only my suggestion, humble suggestion. And sending these books to the review, newspaper, to review them so that we get that publicity. I hope Praveen give some thought to these suggestions.
But we are lucky that we have got authors and those who have written books, because every book, they say, is an adventure to be experienced. The book for the reader will be an experience, but if it has to be his experience, it has to come from the experience of the author. I myself have tried on several occasions trying to write, couldn't go beyond an article. I suppose those who are writing books have to be very serious people who have that grace of patience, most of all, to sit down. They've got the grace of reflecting over the experience. It's not enough to have experiences, you need to have a reflection on it. I think this Prakashana is important not just for what you give to the world, but also I suppose it's a great example that you give to the students. That the students have to similarly go deeper into, when you as professors, many of you are here, the members of the staff, when you get into this writing and exploring and do researching, I suppose you become an inspiration for your students. Many of your students will come back and tell me, I have learned a lot from you because of the way, your outlook of life, your outlook to the subject and to the studies, and therefore they will take it up from you because they will learn to go to the depths. And the book reveals the depth that you have in your subject and what you have to offer. I'm sure this particular occasion for us is also something that we will remember and add to it. It's no point having a Prakashana and then forgetting about it.
Thank you, Father. I wholeheartedly thank Father Melwin for the formulation and planning of the Publication Centre. We are sure to fulfill its vision of spreading knowledge through a visionary leader like you, Father. Dr. Alwyn D'Sa, the Registrar, has always been a guide and a support in all our endeavours. This is in fact an occasion to thank you for all your support too, sir. On this special occasion, I express my gratitude to all the authors, Father Prashanth Madtha, Father Rony Serrao, Dr. Norbert Lobo and Dr. Sylvia Rego for cooperating and coordinating with us in the whole process of this book publication. It indeed was a pleasure knowing simple personalities like you. Special thanks to our reviewers, Ms. Nisha Kalamane, Dr. Priya Shetty and Dr. Dennis Fernandez for providing your feedback and comments on the book. In today's celebration, I would also want to place on record the advice provided to us from the Governing Council of St Aloysius College to St Aloysius Prakashana, and especially I would like to thank Dr. DSouza in his absentia. In the inception stage of St Aloysius Prakashana, there was one person who went an extra mile in providing not just information but also blueprint for the functioning of a publication unit. In his absentia, I would like to thank Mr. Victor Matthias, famously known as Vittori Karkul, for all the assistance that he's provided to us. During the editing, typing, re-editing and drafting stage of the books, in spite of heavy workload, we had the support of Ms. Anupama Dinesh from the SAC Press. Paradeya hinde yavaglu nintu ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ನೀವು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನಿಭಾಯಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಇವತ್ತು ಪರದೆಯ ಮುಂದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕರೆದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪರಿಚಯ ಮಾಡಿಸುವ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸದ ಸಮಯ ಮೀರಿ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. So thank you very much. May I request our registrar, Dr. Alwyn, to hand over a small beautiful sapling to her as a token of our love. She has indeed added her creativity in making these books. The cover pages, the editing, and a lot of work has been done by her too. Page designers, Mr. Joachim, known as Pinto Vamanjur. Sister, may I have the pleasure of having you here and taking a suppling from the principal to accept a memento from Father Principal. We have two collaborators for our Prakashana to kindly come forward, who is our marketing partner to and accept a sapling from us. You have a lots of work to do, sir. Yes, he's going to do all the marketing for us, so best wishes to you in getting our books right into the market. Dr. Sanyashi, Dr. Alwyn D'Sauza, Dr. Joyce isn't here, so they have been really helping in making this Prakashana a grand success. Thank you, dear students, for the inauguration arrangements. Everything that you see here is the creativity of our students. So can you please stand up too? Yes, so my students here from the different departments of our college, the podcast recording has been done by the students too. The boy there, yes, Ian, yes, he has done the podcast recording, which will be available in the college website soon, as well as one more girl has added her voice. And for the prayer song, and Vishal sir for the wonderful backdrop that you have prepared. Thank you, Manoj sir, for meticulously planning out the schedule of the program and for hosting it. And I also place and record the assistance from the support staff. A lot of arrangements had to be done, and without their support, we couldn't have done anything. So thank you to our maintenance staff as well. Through St Aloysius Prakashana, let us all find another reason to come together as one family, share information and knowledge, and fulfill its objective of reading and reaching heights. Thank you, one and all.